Hello again. Welcome back to Keys to Heaven. This is SoulSchool. I'm Theolyn, and I invite you to follow the series. Keys to Heaven series will be 7 videos altogether, plus the one that I did the other day for the introduction, and I will be sending them out week by week. If you catch up with them when they're all there, you can do a binge if you want and watch one every day. They are planned as consecutive, as a series following a map. So don't skip one. And if you come to this one and you haven't seen the introduction, you could go back to it and that would be very helpful for you. In the introduction, I also mentioned that if you become a member of SoulSchool, which is completely free, you can go to the members library and you can get hold of this guide, Working with Archangels for Abundance. And on page 8 of the guide, you will find the map that I'm using. Let me find it for you and quickly show it to you. Make a good start to this one. Okay, so that's, there it is. That's the map. And it's available to you. You can obviously print it out when you become a member. And there's other content in that members library which you will enjoy. So that's theolyn.com. So let us start with our map. The map of the Tree of Life is a very ancient concept, and it kind of describes how in creation generally there's always a necessity for something to be rooted, metaphorically rooted, so that it can grow beautifully and produce wonderful blossoms. And the converse of that is that in order to be well rooted, you have to have some beautiful environmental things like sunshine and rain and so on and so forth coming down to feed the roots at the bottom. So in that metaphor, the sunshine and the rain are like divine gifts. They are inspiration coming from the top that feeds the whole organism of the tree. So in that Tree of Life map, and do go and get yourself a copy, because when I talk about it, I don't want to hold the paper up for you every time. In that Tree of Life map, at the foot of this tree, we have an area, a special arena, that in Hebrew is called Malchut. And that translated means the kingdom. And the kingdom is like the physical material environment and landscape that we find ourselves in, with all our material goods around us, whatever we choose to surround ourselves with. It includes nature, but it also includes personal stuff. So I want you to imagine that that Malchut is guarded and presided over by 2 amazing archangels. All the archangels are amazing, actually. But let us just consider where we are right now, being human bodies. So one of the archangels is Sandalphon, and I won't take time to tell you how I first met Sandalphon, but it was in 1982 that he arrived in my meditations and set me off on discovering the other archangels. Now, Sandalphon is the archangel for the planet Earth, and he is a guardian for us, as all the archangels are guardians, but in particular, you could say that he presides over the welfare of what goes on the earth as a brotherly kind of figure. I really do feel Sandalphon is like a brother, not like a father. And he's a companion. And if you go to that map, and if you go to the website and look in more detail at the images of the archangels that I created for the angel script deck, you will see that Sandalphon is walking on our planet Earth. He's got his feet, his sandals are treading the way. And there's a little lamb by him, and there are flowers and all sorts of things. That's how that vision came to me. And that card is a reasonably good representation, but the archangels are so mighty and so empowered with light frequencies that it's very difficult to make an image of them. But it'll do. It'll give you an idea. So think of Sandalphon. If you can, log on and look at that picture, or if you download the map, you'll really get a very tiny picture. So then, Sandalphon has what we could call a consort. And the consort is Auriel, whose name means light of God, or is Hebrew for light. So Auriel is the feminine, if you like, the feminine sister or consort or bride for Sandalphon at the foot of the tree in Malkuth. And she is related to the moon, because where we are living, we are on the earth, but we are in a circuit. It's actually a binary system, the earth and the moon, so that there's a kind of love relationship between them, if you like. And the moon is bringing the tides, and the moon is bringing the changes that happen to our emotions and the way we feel about things. So you could say Sandalphon is like a very practical guardian for the earth, and Auriel is an emotional guardian for how we relate to each other and how things unfold themselves in time, because as you know, the moon goes through these different phases. So if you could take time to do some kind of journey for yourself and consult with those two, one of the things you could ask is, what practical things are there that I can do? Very, Sandalphon's very grounded. What practical things can I do that will enhance my possibilities for bringing my heavenly vision into the world? And with Auriel, you can go back to Auriel for all kinds of solace, if you like, and a feeling of grace is a word I would use in connection with Auriel, because she's there to hold us emotionally. In the picture, she's holding a baby, so she is quite like an Isis figure or a Mary or one of those compassionate goddesses. And the compassionate goddess is a figure who appears to us in different forms, and here she is arriving in a motherly way to represent how the divine child can be brought into the world and nurtured. So Auriel is about nurturing. So when we talk about the keys to heaven, you could say there are two keys here. One of the keys is a kind of ability to be a practical steward. That's what Sandalphon represents. Being a steward of the resources that you've already got. And Auriel is about healing any issues around that divine child who is you. And it's really important to consider that inner child needs a caretaker, and Auriel can represent the caretaker. because Auriel is there for you, within you, and you can caretake your own inner child. And Auriel is a representative, if you like, of that immense divine love, which is completely endless and available to all of us all the time. We just have to connect with it. So the keys at Malkuth that can release that gate and allow you to move up the tree to the next gate are to do with a combination of very practical attention to your worldly situation, to recognize what it is, to accept the place that you're in at the moment without any blinkers on. Be really clear with yourself. You don't have to go around confessing it to other people. You don't have to go, oh dear, I better tell everybody about my overdraft. But you do need to confess it to yourself and say, this is not how I want it to be. I want to improve this. I want to improve that. It's stewardship. I like that word, even though it makes a bit of a... So Auriel's key is about nurturing the inner child, right? And those are basic starting place in the kingdom for unlocking the next stage, which I'm going to talk about in the next video. So look out for Keys to Heaven number 2. Don't forget to get a hold of that booklet, which is in the members library, by becoming a member of Theolyn.com. And also don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you get notification when the next Keys to Heaven will arrive. Many blessings, and see you again soon.